Welcome, this is Rex bringing you episode 16 of Petanque Points Podcasts. Yes, number 16. So we've been going for nearly a year and a half now. No wonder I'm out of breath. And where was that party to celebrate the first 12 months? Well, might look at that later. This time, we go a little bit global. We have a response to the Circulaires report from the last episode. Flip around the land of Oz for some updates and results. We hear how to be a great scorer. Have a very enthusiastic report on the Australian Nationals recently run in Novar Gardens in South Australia. And of course, you don't get away without reading some of the rules. Stand by while we jump across the ditch to New Zealand. From the lower North Island of New Zealand, here are a couple of reports from Petanque Wellington. The WPA Regional Women's Singles.
On the 13th of April 2022, 32 players took part in the Regional Women's Singles Championship in Horowhenua. This equalled the best entry set in the 2017-18 season. 4 rounds of qualifying were held in the morning and 4 players emerged with 4 wins. Bronwyn Ritchie, Mari Jones, Michelle Maxwell and Christine Stryken. Players were divided into 4 sections of 8 players for the knockout stages in the afternoon. In the trophy section, Michelle Maxwell won a tight contest 12-11 against Christine Stryken to claim her first women's singles championship. Well done, Michelle. The plate was won by Anik LeGruen from Wendy Lawson. Beryl Cowan defeated Rachel Clark to win the bowl, and the saucer was won by Kathy Gatford from Carleen Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Kathy. As the lady singles were happening, the Jacques Cochonnet Trophy Challenge was underway as well. Upper Hutt's second defence of the Jacques Cochonnet Trophy was away at Otaki. In the first round, Otaki won both the singles and doubles to take a lead of 2-1. The second round was a repeat of the first round as Otaki stretched their lead to 4-2. Needing to win all 3 games in the final round, Upper Hutt won the singles but lost the trips to hand the match to Otaki 5-3. The last doubles game was not completed. Otaki's first defence match at home to Horowhenua. A little earlier, 7 clubs were represented in the Champion of Champions singles at the Nene Club. The format was single round robin with games limited 45 minutes plus 1 end. In a strange case of déjà vu, Nene had the bye in the first round, and their first game the scores were tied. In the doubles the previous day, Nene scored in the tiebreak to win 12-11, while in the singles, Nene scored in the tiebreak to win 11-10. At the lunch break, Dave Guerta and Graham Morris were leading with 3 wins. David sat out his bye while Graham had a loss and was yet to have the bye. Steve Frampton and Vaughan Husband were a point behind on 2 wins. As luck would have it, Dave and Steve faced each other in the last round with both of them on 4 wins to set up a final. In a seesaw battle, Steve jumped to a 3-point lead in the penultimate end. Dave could only score a 1, so Steve won the champion singles for the second time. Whilst we are overseas, here's some exciting news for Dijon, France. The city has won the hosting for the World Championships for the triples for 2024. From the December 5th to the 8th, 2024, there'll be 48 international delegations. The city was in competition against Clermont-Ferrand, Fréjus, Ajaccio and Albertville. They expect 5,000 spectators per day. The FIPJ Men's Triples World Championships were first held in 1959 in Spa, Belgium. Additional championship categories were subsequently added for young people, women and for precision shooting. In 2015, the Singles World Championship was added. Currently, Men's Triple Championships and the Precision Shooting World Championships are held every other year in even-numbered years. Women and Youth Championships, along with the men's doubles, women's doubles and mixed doubles, are held in odd-numbered years. This year, though, the Danish Petanque Association is proud to host the World Championships in single, double and mixed double. The championships will take place on the 12th to 15th of May 2022 in Karlslund.
I weirdly was sticking to facts we knew.
Hello, Sandy Toxvig. Benin is getting ready for the Petanque World Championships triples taking place from the 8th to the 11th of December 2022. That's this year. Benin will host about 48 countries from the 5 continents from these World Championships. Cotonou, the capital of the country, is the town where the games will take place. Nice little place on the coast. I can recommend the Obama Beach restaurant for a good meal. I was delighted in being able to observe the Jennifer Shaw Mixed Triples competition in Mount Martha's Bouladrome on April 1 of this year. This was the first anniversary of the opening of the Bouladrome, which is located in a wonderful setting adjacent to the Bowls Club in Mount Martha, and an excellent day it was. Scoring this competition, or any other actually, is something of which I would be quite intimidated. I had an opportunity to speak with Peter Norton, who was the official scorer of the day. And after doing so, I am much more relaxed about the whole thing and would encourage more players to consider contributing in this way. Peter is the official scorer for the day, and scoring is new to you, isn't it?
It is. I'm fairly new to Petanque, and scoring is new, but I've got Jeff Turner, who's a really expert scorer, and he's been giving me the background. I know the IT side, he knows the background.
And the scoring app you're running, there's a couple of choices you can use, I believe. Do you know which one it is?
There's an older version, which I haven't used, and there's the new version, which is called Petanque. Just literally Petanque.
The Petanque app or
Petanque app, yep. And that runs on any system, doesn't need to have internet, which is good. Like today when we didn't have power, we could use just a laptop, which loaded down onto a laptop, and that's it.
You didn't have power today?
We didn't have power all day. We've just come on.
So that's really fortunate. Normally, Peter Wells is the face that I see at any of these competitions as a scorer. He's not here today. So did he give you any tuition on this?
Peter Wells ran a workshop about 3 weeks ago, and we went and attended. Because my background was computers, they said, "You're it." You're volunteering by coercion.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Has it performed well for you?
Very well.
Did you have any complications this morning with teams not turning up? Or
No. We did a trial run on Wednesday, and we knew we had an odd number of teams. Therefore, there would be a bye. That caused a little bit of a problem. We talked to Peter. He showed us how to handle that. But it handles it perfectly once you set the right parameters up.
So it's just a breeze. It's too easy.
It is. No, it's been run really well, really robust. I mean, I've been used to working with other systems, and they're all of them have got little glitches. This one hasn't at this point, so it's really good.
Yeah, it's something I've always thought that the people up there doing the scoring can live in their own little bubble, because you've got to be an absolute genius to understand this and know what's going on. But I'm very pleased to hear it's like that, and this should give incentive to more clubs to be able to be in a position where they're prepared to step up and have a go.
Absolutely.
Which would relieve the situation where Peter Wells or the one or two scorers trying to cover the whole area. So
basically, it's just once we've got it set up, it's probably, if somebody else wants to take it over, it's maybe a half-hour intuition, pick it up.
When you have to load the teams in and do that initial setup, does that take a lot of time?
We go into My Petanque and pick up the list that's relevant to our competition and copy that across straight away into there. It immediately sets it up, we set the lanes up, and we're ready to go.
I'm hearing, for me, it's getting easier and easier. So
yes, it is.
Something I wouldn't be frightened of having a look at myself. No, I didn't say that.
Happy to show you.
All right, Peter, thank you very much for your time, and
Pleasure.
hope all goes well for the rest of the day for you. I am very impressed with what you've had to say about the program and how well it's working for you.
It's great.
I look forward to seeing you at some other further competition. You'll become in demand now. That's going to be
I know, this is the problem. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks very much, Peter. Petanque Points podcast was delighted to receive a response follow-up to the last Petanque Points episode, and particularly the segment on Circulaires. It comes from Robin Dando of Bayside Club in Tasmania and is read by Kathy.
Loved Barbie's Evoker news. She was so diplomatic, and Le Circulaire fascinating. Pre-COVID travelling saw us visit petanque clubs both in the USA and Europe. Some of these clubs had their own versions of Le Circulaire, created by retired members whose lives are consumed by petanque. They are, of course, the perfect size to give to visitors as a souvenir. And as such, the Dando household has quite a little collection. Two favourites are an intricately carved curve from the outer lip of an abalone shell from New Zealand, and a wood-turned extravaganza from the Los Angeles Petanque Club, still pristine, never to be sullied by such stuff as gravel or dirt, heaven forbid. Still on Circulaires, but as an offshoot, Bayside teams recently played in the Hobart PC Interclub Challenge. After Terry and Sue finished a game against two Hobart players, one was heard to say, "Those Bayside people are real professionals. Did you see they had a fancy doodad that hooked onto their shoe to mark the bulls?" The fancy doodad was half a plastic peg, the best circulaire ever. And you'll be pleased to know that Terry has added a pink shoelace to his umpiring kit, just in case.
Rules and penalties. Yes, rules and penalties indeed. Although short and sweet, if sweet can be used here, these penalties seem to be very harsh. These two infractions seem to be very common at club games, but I'm yet to see the penalties applied, as it's just a social game. However, they are the rules, and it is good training for when you're in competition. Infraction 1, picking up the circle before all bulls are played. Penalty, tough. The circle is replaced and only the opponents can play their remaining bulls. Infraction 2, picking up your bulls before the end is scored. The penalty, the bulls you picked up are dead. If your partners still have bulls in their hand, they are not allowed to play them. It's heartening to see advances being made in the youth sections in our game of petanque. Here in Australia, though, it seems to be a real challenge to develop that area. Over in the UK, things seem to be progressing quite well, though. Here's a report from Phil Border of Petanque England Chat covering the Petanque England National Youth Squad Singles Competition. And I thank you for this, Phil. 10th of April, British Sugar Sports and Social Club Bury St Edmunds held the Petanque England National Youth Squad Singles Competition, precision shooting event, and pointing, challenge and observation. On a glorious spring day, 9 juniors battled to earn the title National Youth Squad Singles Champion. The competition was run over 5 rounds of 45-minute time games, and then the 6th round, a playoff between the players from the bottom to the top to find the winner and individual placings. Each player had 4 games, and during the sit-out round, they took part in the shooting and pointing competition. The spirit and competitive attitude the juniors showed was remarkable. They supported each other and were all a pleasure to work with. Thanks to the coaches Chris Garrett and Joe Sheffield, who controlled the day and ensured the games, shooting and pointing were fitted into a very tight schedule to ensure a prompt finish to the day for all the parents and guardians who had travelled a long way to support their charges. Win on the day with 5 wins plus 29 was Ella Slade. Second place with 4 wins plus 12 was Francesca Evans-Jones. And the winner of the third 4 playoff to take 3rd place, Sophie Rowley. Pointing champion on the day, Francesca Evans-Jones, and special thanks to Ethan Hutchinson, who turned up to play in the last round to balance the draw. I thank Phil for the report, and would love to see a similar event here. For our friends up in Newcastle, and that's the one in New South Wales, Australia, it was a beautiful, hot, sunny autumn day on May 10th for the Newcastle Petanque Club Gender Triples Championships. Actually, championships. And the results for the ladies: Kim Threadgate, Margaret O'Donnell and Kathy Eyre. Second, Rosemary Wall, Delise Brady and Alison Peterson. And equal third, Doreen Boudin, Sandy Ekstrom, Yili Han and Judy Clack, Setsuko Mizuno and Liliana O'Connell. The gents: first, Angelo Spina, Kieran Clark and Scott Clark. Second, Tim Stevenson, Joseph Tomasetti, Paul Foster. Equal third, amazing, Neil Brown, Amani Boudin, Chris Boudin, Ray Bond, Ken Farnes and Mario Wend. Back on more local soil, a couple of good tournaments to watch if you're not playing are the Northwest Region Challenge Cup, held at the Community Sports Pavilion, Halls Gap Oval, Grampians Road, Halls Gap. And on the same day, the Southern Metropolitan Region Challenge Cup at Dove Petanque Club, Oak Road, New Memmering. As I said, both are on Sunday the 24th of April 2022. There will be 5 rounds in the tournament. In a round, each team will play 1 double game and 1 triple game. Dove are fortunate enough to have the celebrated David Shaw as umpire, who will be interested to know that I'm ordering a new set of balls with engraving thereon. Oh, also I have discovered that DC Petanque have a scorer, measurer and magnet lifter all in the one place. A veritable steal at £32.99. Most of us in Australia will be aware that the Nationals have just been run, and very successfully again. Congratulations to all involved. Vince Mueller is a first-time entrant who's been playing for only 2.5 years. And here he is with his first-person point of view. This is Rex. Vince, how did you go on the Novar Championships over the weekend?
Oh, Rex. Where shall I start?
Tell me.
Oh, look, all excited. I had a fantastic time. Looking back, I was quite nervous because as a beginner and to play the first time at the Nationals, yes, you feel a bit intimidated.
Of course, you're playing against everybody else in the whole of the country, so it's a really big deal. Now, you played in a couple of different competitions, didn't you, Vince?
Look, I played actually in all 3 of them. First of all, it was Easter. So Easter is a good time for me anyhow, because I always believed in the Easter Bunny, you know? And even if at the ripe age of 60 plus, let's put it that way, I believe even more at the Easter Bunny because, you know, he brought me eggs, big eggs.
And what sort of big eggs were they, Vince?
And the big eggs, they were chocolate eggs. And you wouldn't believe it, they were filled with Swiss chocolate. How good is that?
You can't get better than that, can
you,
Vince?
I tell you.
Particularly for you, particularly the Swiss chocolate, yes.
I really enjoyed it. And look, the tournament is in a beautiful spot, fantastically organized, and everything was just according to plan.
And you had good weather with it as well.
The weather, I think we had for 10 minutes on the last day a bit of drizzle, and that was it. Otherwise, it was just perfect playing condition weather-wise.
So you had no excuse then? You should have done okay? How okay did you go?
Look, as a beginner, I mean, I started playing about 2.5 years ago on a regular basis, and I think I did really well, if I may say that. We started with the singles. Look, in the singles, there were 5 rounds of qualification. I managed to achieve 4 wins and 1 loss against a very strong player, Martial.
That's fantastic, Vince. That's brilliant.
I was stoked. I think I ended up 4th, 5th, 6th in the position after the qualification.
Right.
Unfortunately, I played against a very strong player in the first elimination, and that was it. But look, again, to make it into the principal at the Nationals, I was happy. I was very happy.
That's just brilliant.
No, look, it's fine. And I ended up around everyone losing in the first elimination, I think, was classified in the 9th position. So I say it's a top 10 position.
Excellent. Of course it is. And congratulations on that. That's great. Now, that was the singles. What else did you play in then, Vince?
At the very end, I played in the triples with Terry Hunter, a good friend of mine, and the chap James Ayres from New South Wales.
Yep.
Look, we started really well. Between you and me, we had a bye. So we won that one.
Good.
And then after that, it got a bit cloudy and we lost the next 3. Just before it ended in a disaster, we managed to back the last one. So we had two wins.
Good.
And a delta of -1.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Oh, yes. No, we were very happy with the result because it gave us the position to play in the second tier. What's that? The Consolon?
Complementaire?
Yeah. And there we did win the first one. So we could play for we call it the little final, for the 9th position.
Yep.
And that one we started badly and ended worse. So we came in 10th. But with 2 wins under the belt and one of them a bye, I think we are not allowed to complain. No, we were very happy.
So that left you one more competition to play. That was the doubles then, was it?
Yes, single was on Friday. So doubles was on Saturday. Yeah, and doubles, I tell you, you will not believe it, but I ended up in position 3, bronze medal.
In the Principal?
In the Principal, at the end of the day.
That's just brilliant, Vince. Fantastic. Congratulations. So you've only been playing for 2.5 years. You muck around a bit down at Camberwell every now and again, and you do a bit down at Dove. And then you wander off and go to the Nationals, and you come out with a bronze with 3rd. This is brilliant.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
But no, look, but I must admit, I did have a very, very strong partner. And that was my good friend, Sari.
Oh, yes, I know Sari, yeah.
And as you know, Sari is in my humble opinion, the best shooter, definitely in the over 60 range. He was just incredible. Yeah.
Then you were both on fire.
We were for a while, and Sari all the time. And unfortunately, I let him down in one game in the semi-final. We played against the local team, who won the doubles at the end of the day. So a strong team, but I played pretty average. I think my pointing skills deserted me, and all my balls ended up in the next suburb in Glenelg.
So the surface was pretty slippery on that one, was it?
Oh, it was fast. So an ice rink would be slower compared with that piece. No,
really?
Yeah, no, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't adjust to the condition, and that left Sari to shoot whatever was around. But unfortunately, I couldn't help him or give him enough support to win that game. So we lost that quite high.
That's luck of the draw, isn't it? That's what petanque is. Had you drawn, let's say, a different piece, which wasn't quite as slippery, you might not have got bronze. You might have been up there getting the gold.
Oh, you never know. In those days, everything would have been possible. Yeah. No, but look, I apologized to Sari. That's all I could do. And I did one good deed. When the referee told us, you have to play now for the prize for the 3rd position.
Yep.
You play at piece 4 again. And then I said, oh. And then I went back to the referees and said, look, would it be possible to play on another piece, not the same piece again?
Yep.
And they thought about it, and I think they even talked to our opponents, and luckily they agreed. So we played on another piece.
Right.
And the opponents were from Victoria as well, very strong.
All right.
And
yep.
Yeah, and they started with 2 points just in the first end, and then we changed tactics. and they ended up with 2 points, and we had 13 at the end of the day.
Oh, fantastic. I bet they're really ruining the day they agreed to change piste. Wow. Well, that's brilliant. That really is brilliant, Vince. So,
look,
all in all, you had a brilliant time, and what a great result.
Look, it was a pleasure to play there, and I do hope they will organize it not only next year, but for the next couple of years, because the setup is just wonderful. It's a nice little park, has 3, 6 or 7 different surfaces, so it's just ideal for a competition like that, like the Nationals.
I haven't had the privilege of being able to go over there and play in the Nationals. A little bit daunting for me, I think. That's where all the big boys play, and I'm not in that league. I do know a little bit of the area, having lived in Adelaide for 2 years, but I wasn't into Petanque at that stage.
Next year. Rex, next year is the tournament again there in Adelaide, so it's up to you.
You do realise, of course, Vince, that's 1 more year older than what I am now, and I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning as it is. All right, Vince, look, that is just fantastic. I'm really pleased for you. I'm pleased for you and Sari, of course. But congratulations to you, but also congratulations to Novar Gardens for hosting that event. And not only your report, but I've heard many reports of how good that competition is and was again this year. So excellent all the way around. And once again, Vince, thank you very much for giving us an insight on what it's like to be a player on those pistes.
And how do they say, thank you for having me?
Yes, just like that.
No, you're most welcome, Ray.
Okay, Vince, I'll let you go. Thanks once again. You take care. I'll catch you on the piece. Cheers.
Okay, cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.
Yep, that's it for today. Sorry, no dad jokes this time. That was a Freudian slip. For no reason other than I want to keep Colin happy, here's a special audio clip. I do hope you enjoyed our little trip around the piece and around the world today. Thank you to Phil, Robin, Peter, Vince, Kathy, and all who help in the background of making Petanque Points podcasts. Remember to check the calendar, check the rules, and check into a competition. If you or your club like something included in Petanque Points podcast, email me, rex@audiorexy@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Rex out.
You're a good man, Rex.
Super Rex.
You're a good man, Rex.